I happen to be a SillyPseudonym playing a Nova Drift. Let's see what we can do. Just take lots of unnecessary damage. That seems reasonable. Alright, we'll give it a try. We could take this in several different directions. Champion and an elite one. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I just want this giant convoy of goodies. This is the downside of this stuff. With Salvo is the lower... Well, it's not lower rate of fire really, but the delay between when you fire and waiting to charge up a large enough swarm of missiles can be a little bit annoying. Just a bit. Two convoys already. You spoil this game. Okay, I don't want to be there. I guess I should actually spend my points. But I'm still debating exactly which direction to take this build. So I'm not 100% certain where to go. Go mines. Battery. Assault for the higher rate of fire. There are just a lot of different ways we can go from here. And I don't know which one I really want to do. Okay, you're dead. You're dead. Amp is nice for the extra thrust and weapon bonus. Also puts us on a path to something like what? Death Blossom, I suppose. Could take Bastion, go for Architect Mine. Bastion will allow us to get Support Specialist, which is nice for both the rate of fire and construction speed. And all these other shields all could have their uses. Let's try this amp. This would help a shield break build. Lower maximum shields. When we fire our weapon, we have a chance of empowering it, improve rate of fire, projectile spread, projectile velocity. That would allow us to take maybe one heavy caliber. Could do something weird, carrier. Spectre with mines. There's just so many different places we could go. I do like the battery for the extra projectiles. Don't like it for the low rate of fire. And of course we could do engineer and just make lots and lots of mines. I'm being very indecisive today. Alright, so battery it is. Do I want ataraxia? Don't think so. If we get enough evolutionary niches, we could make another projectile per tick. Is that really necessary, though? I think I'm just going to look for Warp Strike. Get this blink for the maneuverability. Bigger blast radius isn't horrible. We could go for Singular Strike, get some very large missiles. Take the velocity. All we need is the snipe, and warp strike will be available. That will actually make this build somewhat viable. Another convoy. I'll happily take it. Another reroll. Happily take that as well. And there is the snipe, and I will pick up the snipe. Do want this targeting as well. Could try interceptor shenanigans. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a few constructs going. Question is it worth the expense? It takes so many upgrade points just to get an interceptor going. I want many of these things, but I do think I just take the revelation. Don't think I want any of these, though. I'll take the shield cooldown. Any of these, I mean, any of these wild mods. Don't know if they're that useful in our current circumstance. Move towards terminate. Don't know why we're getting so many convoys, but I will happily take each and every one. We're slowly working through them. Okay, missiles. I need you to hit. Don't like to see this early juggernaut. But we can get rid of these shielders. It may not be too hard. Rate of fire up or better shields. Let's get this rate of fire higher. Interesting. Mine specialist, you say? Defiances wouldn't be horrible either. Singular strike. We have a revelation, so these orbs of discord would be a very nice pick as well. This is a tough one. I'm leaning towards mines, but I don't know if that's a good idea. But I'm going to do it anyway. Do need to make sure I aim at the enemy. I definitely will take this double tap though, ×3. A little bit of an increase in rate of fire. And we are waiting between shots, in most cases anyway. So the burst effect isn't exactly something huge. Haven't seen Warp Strike despite getting the prerequisites pretty early. Not entirely surprising, but still, it's noticeable. Even more burst fire. I do want magnitude as well. I do want the calibrate, and I do want to get these mines loaded. The extra 20% rate fire, though, is pretty nice. We're about to fight Omega. Maybe, just maybe. We'll figure out a way to make this work. Oops, shouldn't run right into the enemy. Turns out to be a bad idea. So I did it again, just to be sure. Experimentation is a necessity in life. Otherwise, how do you know it really works? Maybe your first result was just coincidence. You need controls, a large sample size. Oh, it's about to forget I have to kill you first. Hold on, hold on. There we go. I do want you, but do I want you now? Or do I just want this terminate? Or even the magnitude for that matter. Or the burst fire. Or the degenerate. What do I want here? I want everything. Except for you. Don't want you. Everything else I want. Let's go safe. We'll take the terminate. Make this go by a little bit faster, get the rate of fire higher, and kill our dear, dear friend, Omega. Oh. Tracers. Not affected by an early attack because, well, they're invulnerable. Annoying, but part of the plan. Doop, doop, doop. Happy for that increased rate of fire there. Essence Sap is tempting, as is Incendiary Strike. Could try Burnout Reactors eventually. Not entirely pleased by these. I do want that Mastery, but we really need to get Magnitude. So we can get Charge Shot. Probably Charge Mines eventually. That way I can focus on flying around and let my mines do more of the damage. I think. Tentative plan. No guarantee on it actually occurring. You almost got it. Comet, you almost got it. Another chance at Essence Sap. Could go for Leaf. Make our mines stronger, faster to build. there's just so many things I want. So many things I want. And I don't know what to prioritize, so I'm just picking things at random. More convoys. More convoys. Okay. Not sure, once again, what is going on here, but okay. Absorption's fine. We don't have a very strong shield, so getting our hull up seems like a good idea. Our shield breaks so easily. I don't know if we really would use Maelstrom that much. Tempting, though. Even so, still tempting. Oops, hello? We'll take the bravado here. The components to burnout reactors would be nice, but since I don't even have loaded mines yet, I kind of feel awkward taking that sort of stuff. Just yet. Payload. Lowers our rate of fire, but does increase our damage. And I am definitely considering good old Splinter or Singular Strike. Slowly. Far too slowly. Nope, we're gone. I think I'd just take the rate of fire increase. Makes up for the decreases we've taken. Thank you for the assist comment. Oops. Thought the explosion was already finished, and there was a second one there exploding, so yeah, the explosions were not already finished. I do want this loaded mine. I do want this warp strike. Start with the loaded mine, I suppose. That way I finally feel justified in all these other great points I've spent. I wish I could keep this boost forever. Makes the rate of fire so much higher. Alas. Alas. I'll take the Juggernaut and be very, very slow. Surely we will never regret that decision. Charge shot? Why not? It's not like we were able to move anyway. I do want these. Now that my mines are loaded, burnout reactors are more interesting to me. We do a little burn damage with our Deadly Wake. Could try Incendiary Strike for a little bit of extra damage that the Candescence will help further boost. Alright, Warbringer. We should have decent damage output, but we're also very, very, very slow. That's going to be an issue. I'll take the guidance. It's a slight decrease to rate of fire. Reduction to projectile velocity is actually pretty good. You don't want too much, maybe, but just giving your missiles a little time to target better can be pretty useful. I wouldn't mind double tap, but charged mines will make our mines much more powerful. And it will allow me to maneuver more freely since I don't have to worry about the reduction to speed when charging my weapon. It does, of course, make my weapons a little bit worse, but since we have Mine Specialist and we are close to having a Burnout Reactor build once we have Self-Destruct going, I think this will be worthwhile. I think. Yeah, just run into my mind, please. Thank you. Not going to play around with this serpent here. Don't like that laser beam. Death Blossom. We did mention that early on. We have a relatively weak shield, but we already have picked up cooldown improvement. Sure. Give us that juicy, juicy Death Blossom. And we have all but one component for Tempest Break. We need flash shielding for that. Yep. Bulwarks. Slowly. But certainly. Leaf is interesting. Could take Streamline and Warpath for that. Warpath is always nice with Salvo. You benefit from the rate of fire increase no matter what, after all. You're always making missiles. Got to see a little Death Blossom effect there. Not a huge number of missiles, but it's enough. Especially if we had Essence Sap to heal us. But even without it, just getting some more missiles out. Pretty good. Run and hide. I'm so used to having Warp Strike for this fight. It feels weird just screen wrapping whenever I feel like it. Not worrying about taking damage. Feels strange. Pardon me. By pardon me, I mean pardon you. Alright, we got you for a reason, Terminate. Need you to help me out. Thank you. Always nice when the Celestials just fly right into your mind. Didn't blink quite far enough. I do like Splinter here. Also mentioned Flash Shielding for Tempest Break. Do I want that more than Splinter? Splinter will make Warp Strike much better, though the rate of fire decrease is annoying. Still, almost doubling your missiles is pretty good. Don't want to say anything too controversial, but getting a lot more weapon ordnance on the screen is usually a good idea. Maybe if you're not worried about Bulwark. But even so, still probably a pretty good idea. Good hit, Comet, good hit. Not so good a hit, but... I'll take the double tap here. Rancor is tempting, but we're already relatively slow. Just getting our rate of fire back up after this Splinter seems like a good idea. Okay, these shouldn't be too horrible. Especially if they kill themselves on a mine. I almost poorly judged that timing, but I'll take what I can get. I mean, who needs any other upgrades? We'll just get rate of fire upgrades from here on out. Okay, so far so easy. That will change soon enough. Do I want Singular Strike? Uses our projectiles. Each projectile does more damage, is larger, has a bigger blast radius. I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but with Splinter I want to try it. I often go back and forth on whether or not it is worth the changes in your missiles. There are definitely positives and negatives to it. But with Splinter, the negatives don't feel as bad, since your missiles, fewer though they may be, still break into lots of smaller missiles. Now, they might be worse against enemies like this, since there are lots of weak enemies that can absorb a lot of your attacks. Did not mean to be there for that part. But it's fine. Everything's fine. Calibration, or calibrate, isn't horrible. Take the self-destruct. So we can maybe one day eventually get brown reactors going. Maybe. Okay, missiles. Some of you need to actually hit this discharge turret if you don't mind. Gads. Yeah, you're not actually doing a very good job of hitting this. This is when you want Warp Strike. Yep. Good shot, Comet. Much appreciated. Okay, missiles. Where am I here? Yeah, this is the part where I think Singular Strike may not have been that good idea. At least not without Convergence to go alongside of it. Or Warp Strike. Just, excuse me, just need to come in here real quick and grab some stuff. Hope you don't mind. Oh, bulwarks. Well, I appreciate the attempt, Comet. I do want that double tap, but let's finally get this warp strike. Does mean we take damage every time we screen wrap, but we can work with this. We can work with this. That was an aggressive bit of targeting on their part. Alright, semi-celestials and a singularity. That's... yeah, that's going to kill us. I think single strike was a mistake there. I think I needed more coverage than I needed the focus damage. But I do like the idea of squeezing batteries' extra projectiles into one more powerful salvo. Just don't think it works out well with this build. Still a pretty fun one. Nothing spectacular, but it's nice to try it out every now and again and see how does it feel. For now, however, I shall thank you all for stopping by.